Well, I'm Bruce's brother. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
I
was gonna say the
heard
same,
of Bruce guy.
Yeah,
Bruce's
2 years
brother.
ago, September 1st. Same day my little brother died, 45 years ago. Ahead of that or more. He died in 1964, on September 1st. And Bruce died in 2019. So,
I used to like him. I worked with him when he was in Harris.
yeah.
We had a good time together.
Yeah, I know, he talking about you.
He was a good guy.
Yeah,
Lock the door, lock the door.
pull that one closed, Bob, will you? Pull that door closed, will you? I don't know if Bob Klausner's coming or not. I haven't heard a word from him, you?
No, he was in.
How you doing, young
You running late tonight or what?
Yeah.
A little bit.
You don't wanna go out in the rain, it might mess your hair up.
I see you mowing lawn today.
Yeah.
It's for
Freezing.
I'll give him a quick call and see if he's coming. If he's not, I'll leave him on.
Thank you for calling. Please press 1 to connect your call.
When did that happen? He did tell me at his phone.
I feel like something like that.
Robert.
Yep.
Are
I'm
you-
on speaker. I'm waiting.
Oh, okay. You're not coming down then.
Right.
Okay. We're gonna do the pledge of allegiance and open the meeting. So if everybody would join me. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay.
Oh,
Is it raining up there, Bob? No, the rain there. Rain here for,
dry up here.
yeah. Just quit here. Well, maybe still sprinkling a little bit, but rained pretty good for about 20 minutes, but.
Yep.
Okay, we'll have the minutes of the previous meeting.
I move we accept the minutes that's sent out.
Second. Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes as sent out. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I move we accept the planning board minutes from May.
Okay,
Second.
motion made and seconded to accept the planning board minutes for the month of May. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We'll have the reports. Tiffany?
Page to the supervisor for general fund was $622.62. Paid to the New York State Animal Population Control Program was $53. And paid to the health department for marriage licenses was $22.50 for total disbursements of $698.
Okay. The general fund, the balance in the checking account is $577,536.12. And the savings account is $382,680.74. The highway fund checking balance is $1,527,594.19. And the savings account is $521,778.64. I got a feeling Russ is gonna hit that checking account tonight, but. Go ahead, Russell, you're on the floor. Everybody know Russ, he's the highway superintendent, Russ Stoughton, Johnny Walker, his wife, his daughter, and I'm sorry, ma'am.
This is Mosier, we live on the airport.
Oh, okay. Did you hear that, Bob? They're in the audience.
Okay, yep.
Yep, all right, go ahead.
All of our paving's done. We're gonna chip seal next week.
Bridge New York application was submitted the other day. They said we won't know if we win the award until late fall or early winter of 21.
Live this fall.
Yeah, and it said to be this year, they said, the response I had from. Pretty much it, we just new paving and we've been shouldering and doing some patching and getting ready to chip seal next week, so. Pretty much all I got right at the moment.
Any news on the truck?
The new truck, it's in, they're just waiting for the box.
Oh,
We're still
And
waiting for
it's-
the box.
Yeah, I haven't heard, but he said he would let me know when it hit the shop. He said it would be June, but
Did you hear him, Bob? The truck is in. They're still waiting on the box.
Okay,
oh, and the old, the army truck, the transfer case and that, I
Yeah.
did find one. Out in Campbell, New York. We can have it, but we just gotta go take it out. It's another municipality. He said he's got a bunch of junk ones and he's got 2 of them. And he said we just have to take it out.
So you just gotta go
Wow.
get it.
That's,
Yeah, so when we get time,
well, how would we handle it? Would they help with the handling of it's quite a heavy unit?
Oh, yeah.
Assuming.
well, they would have to, I would have to talk to him.
That's
First
what
I'd
I
have to-
mean. If we're gonna take it out in the middle of a barnyard,
He would have.
you gotta be able to maneuver it and get it to a
Yeah.
trailer or something.
Yeah. I'm sure they.
Or at least get it on a pallet so you can set it on a trailer. Or take a Ford transmission jack with you or something.
Something. I'll figure it out when the time comes.
Well, that sounds like a deal to me. I mean, do we have this one out?
No, not yet.
So we don't
I want to get
really,
this one out first.
so we don't really know what
Right.
it weighs or nothing as far as. Well, okay,
Do you have a transmission jack?
I have access to one. Caleb has one.
Oh, right.
I already said something.
did you hear what he said, Bob?
yeah, most of it.
Anders?
Yeah, somebody out, where'd you say out in,
Campbell.
No.
out in Campbell
Caleb.
has 2 or 3 of these old trucks like this one and they're willing to give us,
Okay,
so he's gonna make arrangements to do that.
We gotta take it
Lance
out.
is up there, Maine and everything.
Yes.
He don't know, he didn't get that far, he found these out in Campbell,
Okay,
so. This sounds like a good deal, as long as they're a workable one, so,
yeah.
okay,
And when I looked, there's not 2 of them much in there. There's a leaf chain in there. It sounds like that's gone or something.
probably. Could be, we'll know when we get it out,
Then it comes off of the sprockets, then it won't run.
right, we'll know when we get it out and pull a cover.
Yeah.
Drew had a question about Lounsbury Lane.
Yeah, the signs over there are spelled wrong.
I got him.
Oh, you got the new ones.
I got the one.
Cool. Because I know we did get all the GIS work at the state fixed. So the state has the right records and the right name on the road now too.
Actually, Tim called me 6 months ago and asked if I would get them replaced because they were spelled wrong, and I said I would, and I do got the signs over there. It's just, I did not have got time to get them up, so.
Excellent. I didn't realize they'd been made already. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, do we,
yes,
when we look up on, Google Maps, Ayers Road, it's always spelled A-Y-E-R-S,
and how is it spelled on the road signs?
A-Y-R-E-S.
It's always RES and everybody changes it because they think we misspelled our road.
I just spelled it A-Y-R-E-S,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the way.
but it is A-R-Y-E-S.
just the
No,
way you spell it.
No.
AYRES.
AYRES.
Oh, okay,
All right.
check them out, check them signs.
We
And
don't
I'll
have a
have-
sign, but I'm just
Okay.
saying, when you look at Google Maps,
Every
Yeah.
time we get a sign, it disappears.
Well, I don't know who labeled the road names on Google Map, I didn't have nothing to do with that.
oh, yeah.
Well, I will have,
I could have, but.
like I said, I will have the county GIS personnel contact the state and make sure that the name is correct as many places as we can control.
Can you do that for a group?
Yes, I can.
There's no such answer.
The state
Right.
won't do a road sign.
Right,
Oh, we don't need a road sign.
You know.
No, but no, so they're all their GIS records which is what triggers Google Maps and everybody else. If
Well,
their records aren't right.
It is a problem for people that come out of town.
Yeah.
Because I live on the Halsey Valley Road in Tioga Center. No Google map, no Google address for.
No, Halsey Valley
Halsey
Road's
Valley
in
Road,
Barton,
Tioga Center.
according to Google, yeah.
Yeah, so if you Google it, 116 Halsey Valley Road, it sends you to Spencer.
Yeah.
It does, because I've had people, even Fred
Wow.
Akshar got lost trying to find me one night.
Wow.
But anyway.
Because there was a big issue with the trucking, over in Lounsbury,
Yeah,
because they were sending the trucks up over,
oh, yeah.
Sunnyside.
Well,
And there's
they-
that hairpin turn up there and
Yeah.
they can't do that. So, yeah, I've recently been in contact with the state and all the map folks, so, yeah, we'll get it done.
Yeah,
Funny thing is, I live on Glenmary Drive. In some places, separate words, Glen and Mary, and others.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep. And then when you pull up the state records, that's the way it is. It's really strange. They weren't very consistent at all at the state.
I need a motion to approve the reports.
So moved.
Second,
Motion made and seconded to approve the reports as given. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
I guess,
Opposed? Carried.
Russ, I got one question, you know, with the transfer case for that army truck. Are you just gonna jump the old one? Is that something that,
I want to get it out and see,
would these guys want it to rebuild it or something?
I don't know, I want to get it out and just tear it apart and see.
Yeah,
It might be something simple.
It might be something simple, as Bob is saying. They say they're chain driven. It
yeah.
may be something as simple as a chain come apart
Or,
wanted to fix the
or
transmission.
something that, you know, but
I
still,
always
if
wanted
they're
to fix
offering,
transmission.
if they're offering the parts, we should,
yeah,
it might be worth it to offer them to buy the whole truck and go put it on a trailer and bring it home.
I don't know what's left of it. He said it was parts, so.
No, but even if they could send you a picture of what was left of it and describe it, it might be worth it. You know, because there's tires and wheels and whatever could be on it.
Yeah.
But it would, maybe we ought to consider doing that. At least find out.
I could ask him.
Okay, we're done with the reports. We're gonna move to the privilege of the floor, and we have the Walkers and Miss Mosier here. Is it Miss or Ms.? Mrs.?
Oh, yeah.
Where you going, John?
Yeah, you don't have to go nowhere. You can,
Yeah, you just-
Stand right up there.
you can do whatever you like, John.
Whatever, okay.
When you're 60 years old like you are, you can do anything.
Best 60 I ever been. Well, 3 years ago, we met here with you guys about this thing. You sent us a letter and invited us. And we all came. And it was all about they were gonna start mining behind yours. And we were told that they would never drive on our road, that it was forbidden. But yet, here we are, thrown under the dump truck. Because they're going up and down our road every day. Not every
Not
day,
every day, John.
no. And so we wanna know, how did that all come about? We weren't even talked to. And how did they get permission to all of us start driving these great big trucks up and down the road? And then we heard that they're having trouble passing, so now they wanna widen the road. And I don't like that idea.
Well, they've never approached us about widening the road. Did they ever talk to you about widening the road?
We don't know where that came, we were told that, but
Yeah.
we don't know where it originated.
I've talked to them maybe 3 times in the last 2 weeks. I talked to them today, in fact. And so has our code enforcement officer, is well aware of what's going on. One thing we have noticed in the permit, you got one there, go to page 4 of 7, says at the bottom, and read number 10, and I'll read that to you. If you don't have it, she may have a copy that she can give you. It says alternative access road must be constructed where depicted as primary access road on the approved graphic mining plan map, condition 1C, prior to many mining activities in the permitted term area. The road must be designed and constructed to the standard and specs of construction road stabilization provided in the New York standards and specs for erosion and sediment control. Use of Ayers Road south of the gated mine entrance is prohibited to haul trucks and motorized heavy equipment. Trouble is,
Oh, well. Trouble is,
there's a
they're breaking
caveat
the-
here.
They're breaking the law.
Well, no, they're not, because there's a caveat here. It says prohibited to haul trucks and motorized heavy equipment, which means the excavators, the dozers, the loaders, that type of thing. The haul trucks are described as the heavy Euclid trucks. That's a haul truck. This is DEC ruling, not ours. We did not set any, we don't have any jurisdiction or control to the permit, okay? DEC
How
set
can it
that.
be when it's in your town?
Because
We have control over the road, our road only. And our road states any licensed vehicle can travel that road regardless of what the weight limit is, as long as it's under a legal load, okay? So if they're running tractor trailers and they're 80,000 pounds, we don't have a leg to stand on. Our attorney will be here, probably in a half an hour. He said 7:45, which is Adam Schumacher, if you know Adam.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the argument, okay? And we can't prohibit them because they own the property and they run a business. And how do we stop them on a road if their trucks are legal? That's the issue. But the haul trucks are not legal to run on a road.
Well, they've been on our road too.
Well,
Unlicensed haul trucks, okay.
I don't know.
No,
I
they're unlicensed.
yeah, I couldn't prove that. I don't
Great
know.
big flatbeds with
Uh,
great big, shovels on them.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Steve Craig is the manager down there.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to meet with some of you folks today at 3 o'clock. Did that happen?
No.
Because
Never
I
heard
told
of it.
him I would come down there. No. He said, well, I'm meeting with Margot and I think it'd be better if you just
Oh,
stay away.
maybe if he met with them, he didn't meet with us.
Well, no, but he said Margot and some of the people on Ayers Road. Now, who he met with, I have no idea.
Oh, Margot
I
was
didn't
game.
hear anything about it.
Nobody said anything.
And then she lives right next door.
I couldn't tell you then. All I
So
know
I
is what he
don't
told
know.
me and he was
He
gonna
could've
call
been
me.
there, we don't know.
He was gonna call me back after they met and I never heard another word. That was at 3 o'clock when they were gonna meet, so. I have not heard another word from him. I don't know, but I know they're trying to work with the railroad too.
I heard that.
Well, they did get a permit from the railroad. They got a lease. Now they gotta work out the details. Because the railroad, he told me this morning, the railroad gave him a permit, a lease, is how he said it, to run alongside the railroad tracks. Okay, come off the railroad tracks and run alongside them to get down there. The problem is the railroad requires them to stay 20 foot from the rails. They can't get no closer than 20 foot. So they're trying to determine, the railroad's trying to determine whether they have a 40-foot right of way from the center of the rail or a 50-foot right of way. If they have a 50-foot from the center, then that gives them 100-foot of right of way. Okay, but they've got 50 foot to work with. So if the rail is 2.5 foot from the center, I don't know just how wide the rails are, but probably 4 foot, something
But
like that.
then the question comes into play is that the rail is on the right-hand side. They're gonna build on the left where the rail is gone.
Right.
They took the rail out.
Well, they're gonna travel on the left side. They're gonna travel
Okay.
between Ayers Road and the rail.
So they still have to be 20 foot away from the center of the
Yeah,
rail and the
And
rail.
they have to be 20 foot from the rail.
Never gonna make it.
Well, they can do it if they have a 40-foot right of way. That gives them 20 foot minus 20 foot, but minus 40. See what I mean? So that still leaves them like 12 foot. to runway down through there, but they can't pass trucks unless they get on their own property, then they can pass trucks. So they're still trying to work out them details. And believe me, they really are trying to work with you folks.
Okay, but don't Danny and Margot's area stretch almost to the railroad track?
Well, almost, but it does not go to the railroad right away. It only goes up to it. Okay,
Hey, Louis,
yeah,
and it's on, all the taxpayers got all the measurements on them.
yeah. Well, they're the ones working with the railroad. I'm not. I've worked with them before. On that bridge down there. We've worked for years on that. But anyway, all I can say is that Steve is also making an offer with, you know where the old silo is right there by your barn, right there by, well, is that your barn or Brink's barn?
No, that's.
That was on Larry Brink,
No,
right?
yeah, no, that was Sonny's. So that belongs to.
That belongs to Locke.
Yeah.
The one next to the red barn,
Yes.
yeah, that's.
Well, the barn itself.
Yeah.
Is that Sonny's too? Was that on Sonny's?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I thought it was, but somebody told me it was
Literally,
on
my
Larry
parents'
Brink.
property is ends right at. the-
Yeah, I think the only reason they were thinking it was Larry Briggs is because Larry used to store
oh,
hay in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
But, what Steve told me today, that Dan and Margot's land going back to the railroad tracks is the biggest issue.
Mhm.
And that he's trying to work a deal with Dan and Margot on some property swap across the road next to you. So that could be why they're not here tonight. I do not know. That's just what he told me, that's all. So if they work that deal out, then they may get enough to stay over along the railroad. I don't know. I do know they're working on it though, and they're trying to be as cooperative as possible.
Cause they start at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
actually
they're
before
down
that.
there before the
Yeah.
buses even get there. I have a special needs child that gets the bus, and I'm so worried when they're outside playing, because them trucks is up and down the road constantly.
Well, he also told me he's instructed them to stop if any vehicles are exiting the driveway on your folks' property. He's also instructed
They
them,
don't,
That sort of happens.
like I said,
well,
I mean, the buses get stuck behind the trucks going down the road.
yeah, they're working on that too, because they're working on a new turnaround back up this side of your place, somewhere between
Like I said, I
your
have
place
a-
and Dan and Margot's in
I
that
have a
area.
special needs. I
So
have
the
an
bus doesn't
autistic
go
child
down
in the
there,
house.
and it won't for no more than, another couple weeks or so. Because they talked to Russ about a turnaround for the school. They also told me that, Steve told me that 15-mile-an-hour max for them trucks. I don't know how you're gonna regulate that
They're
unless,
going slow. I don't know. if
It's not the
15
speed
miles.
right now.
Right.
It's the noise.
well,
Yeah.
I can understand
And the
that.
dust.
It's a whole lot more than you've been used to. That's
Oh,
an
yeah.
issue.
When it
Didn't
starts.
sign
at
up for that.
45.
Yeah.
I can just, from visiting the road, the end of it, where they currently come out by the railroad tracks,
Yeah,
that's so dangerous. I've almost been hit there, and I don't even
They
go on
don't
that
look.
road anywhere near as much as the residents, but I've almost been hit.
because of the
Because they
trucks
don't
or
stop.
because of the,
They don't stop, they don't look, they just
pull out and
go.
oh, was there stop sign there?
No.
No.
No, no,
we
there's-
asked for a
that's
stop
coming
sign
out-
there.
Coming out from by the
I'd like
scale.
to get,
By the scale.
Yeah.
yeah, an autistic speed limit sign or something put up. My grandson, who I have custody of, is autistic. And the way that they fly up and down these roads and they don't, I want something done. This
Is that possible?
not right.
I know. Well, they have another
could
child
get a
down the road
sign
in
for
those
autistic.
trailers too, that gets brought home
Yeah,
separately.
Was it, if,
Not on a school.
they
bus.
only got, they're coming, they're not stopping coming out of from the scales onto Ayers Road, is that what?
No.
Well,
That's what
Ayers
they're
Road
saying.
across the tracks onto 17C is, I think what you're saying, correct?
No.
Yeah, it's right, literally right at the end of Ayers Road by 17C.
Right on to
Right by the
17C.
Go on,
railroad
when
track.
they're,
Coming
but
off
there
the
should be a
scales.
stop sign. There's not a stop sign.
There's a stop
On the
sign at the end of
17C?
Ayers Road to 17C, but where they come out, there's nothing.
asked
And they
for
just
one
come out and.
Before.
Is there any reason we can't put a stop sign there to coming onto our road?
I don't know, can we? Off of their private property on our
That's
road? I
private
don't know.
property coming out onto the road. I don't think you can, but I can ask.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know.
The gist of that is.
I mean, I think Steve would cooperate.
Well, my thought is in the interest of public relations, it might be a good move for them to put one.
I can ask Steve about that if they would put up a stop sign and ask the drivers to stop.
I mean, I get why they don't want to, but you're not, nobody's gonna win against one of those trucks.
No, I agree.
And the trees come right. as
At least
it comes
you
up
yield
John, those trees come
You-
right
yeah.
up to it.
When they're all have leaves on them, you can't see the trucks coming up from there
Until you get there.
until you get there, and then they're there.
And I don't know.
They're
I don't know
there,
if I
so
can-
you have to stop and let them go.
I don't know if I can legally cut some of those trees down because that's a wetland.
Yeah.
Well, you can trim some limbs off, can't you?
Yeah, but it's, the trees come right out to the edge of the road. They're right there.
Yeah, but if the wind blows them over.
Just tell them we got a wind
Yeah,
All we did was cut up the firewood afterwards.
Yeah.
Maybe if your big loader ran into them or
Well, there's
something.
plenty of firewood laying around there. 'cause they
Yeah, I
cut
see
down
that.
A lot of trees.
I
and
see
they-
that. I've been down there a few times.
So
What?
I have a question, and this is gonna be obviously into the future, but my understanding is they're putting some sort of plant there. So is that similar to what's in Owego, where the public goes in and out of to get
Well,
Loads.
So if that's the case, is the public gonna be going up and down that road all day long, all the time? Cause I gotta tell you, the people that live on that road don't go the speed, don't watch their speed on that
Some of
road.
the ones.
no, I don't think it'll be a retail sales out of there ever. I don't think so. I can't say that for positive because I don't know, but their plan is to put a plant there, and originally they were gonna put it down by the old bridge,
Mhm.
where the old barn used to be down there in the field.
Yeah.
But now they've talked about moving it up here, correct?
I haven't, they wanted to buy 13 acres from me right across that, by the scale, right across to their land.
Right.
And we told them no, because they only wanted to give us $3,000 an acre. And they're gonna put a plant there. So I don't know where they're at their plant.
Yeah, because
And
it's
I
still
don't
up
know.
in the air what they're gonna do about a plant, but
You get a plant across from your house.
No, it's Sonny's fault. It's all Sonny's fault. He gave us the land, Bob, give us the land.
well,
I'll give you
I've
$1.
heard both, I've heard all kinds of stories, because I heard they were gonna put a plant on this end. Well, first I heard they were gonna put the plant down there by the old bridge, or by the, where, and then I heard they were gonna put it where the old barn was.
Yeah,
Then I heard they were gonna put it on this end, they were gonna run conveyors and run the stuff up.
that's what they wanted to do.
That's what they wanna do, but that gets awful expensive also. I mean, it's a business deal, there's no doubt about that. And what it's gonna cost, and I'm sure they're weighing all that out. And they'll have the answers a lot quicker than I will, because I'm not in that business, but, so I don't really know what they're, but I don't think it'll ever be a retail sale down in there like private trucks in and out other than Lockheed's truck,
I don't know,
because,
they're talking about moving the whole Wiggle plant to there.
well, the thing of it is they don't have any material left up here. Everything they have to run through that plant has to come in from somewhere.
Well, like Bob says, public goes in and out of there.
Yeah, they do.
So they'll go in and out of here too then.
Yeah, 'cause
Well-
they don't wanna have to haul everything up to a Wiggle. That's why
No,
why
no,
they're moving
I-
the plant down here.
I can
So,
understand
yes,
that.
it would have to be public.
So the short is I can't answer that question. I don't know what
I
their
vote they put in a
long-term
bridge
plan
and
is.
just-
I don't know.
Stay on the other end of the.
Could we invite them to come have a conversation with us in the community?
I've got an invite on the table now. Well,
Okay.
not at the community, but I want to meet with them because
Yeah. There's-
once you get below your folks' house, they own both sides of the
Yeah.
road.
I don't care what goes.
Well, I know that's becomes an issue to the
Because
town. I mean,
those-
we gotta maintain that length of road clear down to the bridge and,
But those poor people are gonna get moved out.
oh yeah.
They have about 5 months now, a little less than 5 months. He gave them notice 6 months to give them
Yeah.
out. and that
Oh,
was-
see, I thought our understanding was the last time we came to a meeting that you were
Gonna abandon
deeding
the
away
road.
the road past my.
I would
parents'
not do
house.
that without a public hearing. I can't. And you folks would be involved in that, whether you're in favor of it or against it. I'm only thinking of the town's aspect of it, of what our liability would be for keeping that road and how much less liability we would have if we got rid of it. But we still got all you folks down there to deal with, and you're still town residents. So, it would be a public process to go through that, and Adam would have to set that precedent for me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, you're.
we're not
looking
gonna
at-
just go down there and abandon the road and leave you
No,
folks stranded.
at our
That's not
house,
gonna happen.
we're the halfway on the mile road, so we're 5/10.
Yeah,
So there's 7 houses that occupy half a mile.
right.
And I know that doesn't look real significant to a lot of people, but we've been there a long time.
I understand
You
that.
know,
7 houses and a
we're
half
not
mile.
inclined to want to move it.
Bruce told me when
Alright.
he moved there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 72.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and
Uh,
others lived there before.
So
that.
then, my understanding was that when they were doing the road in the back of my parents' property, so across this road from everyone else, they had to keep 100 feet from people's property for that access road. At least that's what the DEC guy told my daughter when he pulled the permit. Cause she sent an email and asked him a bunch. of
yeah,
questions.
I've never read that or seen
He
that. I
said-
don't know.
He told her it had to be, they couldn't mine within 25 feet of your property, and they had to build the berm,
Right.
the berm and then 20, it had to be 25 feet, the berm, and then they could mine. And he told her the access road, according to the permit, had to be 100 feet from anyone's property. So if they flip that to the railroad side, I mean, it's not gonna impact you guys, because you're away from you, but does that mean they have to get a new approved permit from DEC, or?
I couldn't tell you that, because
There
I've
is-
never seen the 100-foot mark. I don't know.
I never heard of
Uh,
They
that
don't
either.
have a copy of that.
Yeah, well, the guy sent her a whole email, he answered all of her
Yeah.
questions and
Our
sent her a whole
granddaughter-
email and gave her his name, and he's the regional something for DEC.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He gave her a message right back the next day. He was prompt and
Right.
it was a nice,
He probably forwarded her the whole,
he did.
the
Well,
whole
I think
permit.
he pulled the permit, and I honestly think he might have driven the road, because mom and dad said they saw him, a truck going up and down the road and
That
stopping.
we, a gray truck that we didn't
Yeah.
recognize. We know the
Yeah.
Lockheed.
well,
one.
I'm sure that whatever the DEC regulations are, Lockies are not gonna disagree with them, or they're not gonna
Kind of
try
hard to
to.
fight DEC.
Yeah, they're not gonna try to rewrite the law over DEC, because they have to work with DEC, and
Well,
DEC will pull their permit just like that.
Was there an option in there, Louis, that they can readjust the permit? Wasn't that what Doug was telling us? That they could ask.
Well, I'm sure that there probably is. Doug,
It was probably only to the depth that they could dig.
didn't
No,
Doug read
no,
that at
it-
the,
It was-
planning board meeting the other night?
We're
yeah.
on now.
It gives them so that they can put in a request. If for some reason, then like where they're gonna put the road, they say it's not fit to put a road in there,
Yeah,
and so they can ask for like a variance. Now, if they could get down along the railroad tracks, the DEC might give them a variance,
yeah.
100 feet. But it's gotta be, out of holes.
Yeah, so I got his response to her. She sent it to me.
Hey, Adam. Yeah,
The Alice May there knows all that stuff on the railroad.
yeah,
He's in control of it all there.
yeah, they're working with the railroad. I've dealt with Alice May a number of times. Alice May. In fact, I have his phone number, but I can't step in there and,
He's got a phone number on Atlanta, Georgia.
yeah.
I just asked the question just for information purposes. I mean,
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm mostly concerned about my parents, not that I'm not concerned about the whole neighborhood.
Let me bring Adam up to speed. Adam, we're talking about Ayers Road. And the mining permit down there with Lofty's.
Yep.
And from, this is Mr. and Mrs. Walker, I don't know. You know,
Sure.
I think probably you do. They said they did, no,
Yeah.
but, and then Mrs. Mosier. The permit says, and I think you got a copy of it there, if you go to page 4 of 7,
It's the very last thing, Adam.
and that number 10 paragraph, construction alternative access road. And I'll let you read it quick and then before I.
Okay.
See, the last sentence is the one that's in question,
Use of air.
where it says, use of Ayers Road south of the gated mine entrance is prohibited to haul trucks and motorized heavy equipment. Description of haul trucks and heavy motorized equipment is loaders, dozers, excavators, Euclids, they're haul trucks, okay?
Well,
Any legalized, legal truck that's a legally licensed truck that's operating under legal conditions, we can't stop them on that road. If they're hauling 80,000 pounds, the only way we could send the cops down there, and if they're over 80,000 on a tractor trailer, then they could cite them if they don't have a permit, and they'll end up in court. But
imagine they got
all them triaxles and the trailer, well, they can haul more on the trailer than they can on the triaxles. That's why they're running the triaxles. So they don't have to make so many trips is their issue. But because they own the property on both sides of the road, once you get below the Walker's house, they have a legal right to that road. As long as they're legally operated vehicles.
I would say, yes.
So with that being said, the town don't really have a leg to stand on. This is a DEC permit issued by the DEC. We don't have a leg to stand on as far as stopping them unless they're doing something illegal. And then we'd have to prove that.
Okay, I agree. I mean, I really have to do a lot of research to figure that out, but yeah, the DEC offered to permit, and if there's an issue with it, then I imagine as part of the permit process, did they have to notify neighboring people or anything like that?
They've gotten, other than what, 3 years ago when they got the letter, there's nothing.
Yeah, the Lockies and the DEC met with everybody on Arizona about that time, right? 2 or 3 years ago.
Lockheed never met with anyone. We came.
Well, I
here
guess it
for-
was the DEC and us.
We came here for a board meeting with just you folks. There
Yeah, but was it us folks or was it the planning board?
I think it was a planning.
I think it was the planning board.
Sorry.
Yeah,
And
and they went, the DEC went through all the issues on the permit at that time, and the DEC told them that there would be an access road and that all the traffic would run on that access road. Because originally they thought about, well, I don't know as they originally did, but they never have decided where they're gonna put their plant to process.
Mhm.
So they figured if they have to haul all that stuff from the end of Ayers Road down on Brinks and all that back up to this side to run it through a plant, then they had to have an access road to do that
Mhm.
with them haul trucks. Well, since then, Lockies have found out that below the barn where they intended for the haul road is 7, 8 foot of topsoil, and it will not support them trucks. So they're working with the railroad. They're trying to get an easement from the railroad, and Steve told me today that he has a lease with them. The caveat to the lease is they have to stay 20 foot away from the tracks. Now it comes down to where their right of way is and how much width do they have to the right of way. And they know they have a 40 foot from the center of the rails that's there, but if they have a 50 foot, then they have enough width to use center of the rail, stay 20 foot away from the track, still leaves them 25 feet or more.
Mhm.
And that's what they're working toward. There's one property that he told me that's in question, and that's the one that belongs to Dan and Margot on the end. And they own right up where their fence doesn't even go to the property line, he says.
But,
So that's an issue, but they're trying to work with them.
but if they
to,
got, the railroad's got it right away.
Doesn't matter.
It don't matter on,
Doesn't matter what fence is, it's
Yeah.
whatever the railroad's right of way is,
Right.
is what's gonna determine that.
right,
So, and he told me he was meeting with them at 3 o'clock today. And he would call me back and let me know how he made out, because I told him, I said, if you want me to come down, I will come down. He said, no, I'd rather work with him myself and we'll work through this thing. I wanna work with everybody. He says, I don't want no hard feelings, I don't want nothing, I just wanna, but it's a business, and I gotta run the business.
Hey, Louis,
Yes,
when we got that land from Schaefer's, a lot of that right away through there is, 95 to 100 feet wide, someplace 150.
yeah, but that's the old Lehigh.
that's the wrong side of the
That,
tracks for 'em.
that's the wrong side of the tracks, and it doesn't even play into the fact of the old Erie Lackawanna rails. You know, which is now, I guess, Norfolk and Southern.
But it's actually still under Pennsylvania Railroad.
Yeah, but look at the rails down through where Church Street goes down through. You see where that easement is there, just below Bob's house? The old Lehigh Railway's right there where you go off 17C. The Erie Lackawanna's is 200 yards below that,
Right.
quite a ways below, because it
Yeah.
splits right there.
Oh, yeah. They got
So,
7 acres.
you know, you just don't know down there. I don't know anyway, but I'm sure they working on it with their maps and the railroad working on it. So
Well, and also Steve told me that what they want to do is they want to reclaim that wiggle pit where the machinery is,
yeah, because,
and they want to move some of that machinery down there.
yeah,
Use it for the plant.
I understand that, because as long as that permit's open, there's quite a huge, a financial burden there, as long as that permit's still open. And
Yeah, because of bonding.
yeah, and they have to close it and get the reclamation part of it done before they can retrieve that bonding.
They probably got 25 million in there more bonded.
Yeah, so I don't know, there's lots of issues involved there that I'm not gonna get involved in, but,
Right.
you know, I'm just trying to help these folks as much as we can. You know, I understand the business, and the business has gotta go on, but we don't want any liability issues either, so,
Well, DEC usually has a good handle on that.
yeah. Well, they're the ones that issue the permits.
And they know all about it now, because
Yeah, I'm sure they know all of the problems that are going on down there, especially if your granddaughter.
Well, and in
Contacted them,
fact, that truck that we saw was somebody from the DEC. It was the day after she sent that message to him and he responded, and then there was this.
Yeah.
Well, her questions are more about water, dust, noise. and
They've
how far
agreed,
the road
they've
has-
agreed verbally to me to take care of all of that, and I hope and thinking they are, but
Well, they put water on the road.
Once in a blue moon.
yeah. Well, I can address that issue with him. And again, he told me, guaranteed me 15 mile an hour. He catches anybody doing more than 15 mile an
All you
hour.
gotta do is sit down and sit on the front porch with me.
Yeah,
And when they go by,
I may do that.
the dust just follows them.
You do
oh,
that.
yeah.
Even though they are probably doing that speed limit.
Yeah.
It's just full.
Well, there's
We
no
can,
way we can tell. They go slow.
well, we do have a radar sign that we can put up down there.
That might intimidate them.
Well, we do. We have an electronic radar on a trailer, and we can set it up and set the speed limit for 15 mile an hour. Drew knows all about it. In fact, I thought Jerry'd be back by today, but he's not yet. He had a bunch of issues with his eyes. He's still down in Florida. But we can do that, and that would keep them under their wraps. I mean, they'll know exactly what they're traveling.
You also if you put white signs up That makes it more legal.
White signs?
White signs, yeah, like when we changed the speed limit on West Beach here,
Yeah.
you have to have white signs, the yellow ones are just, down signs.
Yeah,
I'll go to,
white sign with the black borders, a regulatory
I'll
sign.
go to Russell for that.
State.
Russell, you said we can get a,
The school bus doesn't know that, so.
sign for, how would you want that sign worded? For, autistic?
Children.
Because my grandson is autistic.
So should
He
we,
lives with us.
should we get two of them and put one
Each side of the house.
each, coming each way?
Yeah.
There is also a second school bus that goes down, not the big one,
Right.
but a smaller one, and just, he will take a little bit of time. He goes down to the trailer. So I'm thinking there's another child maybe that might have issues. I don't know
Well,
that,
could be,
but it
could
is
be.
a little school bus that,
But that, if that's a specific case, that'll be a short-term fix.
that's true.
Because school's gonna be out in another 2 weeks or less,
Now,
and those trailers are gonna be gone,
My grandson will go all summer.
okay?
He goes to a Binghamton Oak Tree program.
Okay, but if Russ wants to get a couple of signs and get them up down there, you, what's
I got some
your house
examples
number?
you can look at. before we leave.
52.
52?
Google's good. Sometimes Brad calls, don't make them, they just have them,
Yeah.
whatever they have, I gotta get.
52 Ayers Road is her address.
I know where they're at.
We
I know.
probably one each direction from each side facing the traffic.
I'll get it.
You're right on that,
I'm on
man.
that.
So Russ, can that
Right.
road handle the constant big trucks like that, or is it gonna demo the road?
Time will tell.
Because we did complain about it, and then they came and oiled it and gravelled it and widened it a little, and
Yeah, we did it.
it was lovely for a long
We
time,
did
Yeah.
it 2 years ago.
but, yeah.
2 years.
Well, the end of it, it just, it's
You're right, we only went-
nonstop.
Past our house.
As far as we went, because they were gonna
Yeah,
stop then,
yeah, so
3
there,
years.
I mean, the section between the railroad tracks and 17C is terrible. It's nothing but giant potholes all the time.
yeah.
And the state's supposed to have a 50-foot right.
Yeah.
The edge, and they won't, boy, they won't touch that intersection, they're terrible. Hard to get them to do anything.
Well, I guess you're happy to hear they're not widening the road and.
Hey, Louis, can they have to put,
Yeah, I don't know where
hours of
that
use?
came from, where that
Oh.
particular
Well,
thing came from.
He already told me they're only gonna operate normal business hours, which is like 7 to
4:30.
4:30. Yeah. So I don't know if it's gonna do us any good to try to restrict them hours anymore.
No, but they're posted, so it's up there.
I can talk to Steve about that.
Us old people don't get up that early.
Yeah, I know.
So how's that work out for you? Seems the older I get, the earlier I wake up, so
You wait till you get to a third point.
then it goes the other way again, okay. There's some mornings I like to sleep, I tell you.
Oh, no, I
I
don't
hear you.
really want
I used to get up early all the time, but
Well,
Not anymore.
now I just roll up in the blankets and
So, did I understand correctly, the town is putting the bus turnaround in a different spot?
Yeah, to move it back.
well, they said they'd put it in if
They
we
said they
wanted
put
them
it
to.
in. Poppy said
But
they-
we,
Well, it
Russ
How
is,
about right across from my parents' house?
Why?
Then if they dig over there, they have to go in much further.
Well, they won't be able to do the other side because it goes off down the edge. I mean, they,
well, except right there where the silo is.
yeah.
There is that flat spot there,
yeah.
or where the barn is.
Oh, the barn's way back from the road. That'd be a really.
I didn't know it was turning around. They could do a U-turn there with a bus.
Yeah, we used to have a little U-turn there.
Yeah.
In the.
Yeah, I don't know where the
Not big
spot
enough for
will
a
be,
bus,
but it'll be somewhere agreeable to Russ, and because if the bus gets stuck, we're gonna have to go down there to help them get it out, that kind of thing, you know, we're gonna have to plow out the turnaround and stuff like that. So it'll be agreeable to him and the school and Lockies and everybody involved.
We're gonna end up being a little peninsula out there. In the middle of-
Other than the issues we've talked about, folks, I don't know what more I can do to help you, except that I will talk to them and tell them I want the road kept. And if they tear the road up, we're gonna have a little conversation with them. If they tear it up, they're gonna fix it.
Well, that one stretch between Sunny's house and the ends,
Yeah,
in the summertime when it gets hot, it's all like tar kind of, and then.
Yeah, but just,
You'll see.
well, there's always issues when you turn off the road and the section before you hit the railroad tracks and then the other side, that's always, they try to fix it and it just doesn't stay and it's a bumpy ride.
The other day, we came home from shopping and Martha turned the corner, the truck was coming out, and he just kept right on coming on that little crossing. And I thought Martha was gonna run off and you guys were gonna have to come and pull us off the tracks.
I'm not that bad a driver.
No, the problem is, there's literally no distance, so there's no reaction
Yeah, I
time, and they don't. I won't say all of them, but they just get in their routine of whipping out of there. and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and
you know,
the
I can
visibility-
tell you-
visibility's
They
not
stop,
good.
always stop before they go on 17.
No,
See.
they don't.
No, everything, I've
Well,
always seen them stop before they go on 17.
that would be under the
But they
vehicle.
don't stop when they're coming out.
Not when
from-
they're coming out.
Yeah.
But you know,
So
I
that
can
side-
tell you from experience as an operator of that heavy equipment myself, when you come out of a place like that, when you're loaded with a truck and you got a railroad to cross, and if you're paying attention to the traffic on the railroad, up and down the railroad, when you're coming out of there, you gotta keep moving because you know how much power and time it takes to get that load started again on that slight grade. And if you already got the momentum going, you can get across them tracks a lot quicker. I've drove school bus down that road a lot.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I had the living crap scared out of me one day. No kids on the bus. I was empty, coming back, had unloaded down there by the trailers, come back, come up to this crossing, arms are up, I'm looking down towards Smithboro, I see nothing, I look as far as I can around the corner, and I had stopped, because that's the law with the school
Yeah.
bus, and opened the door, and I heard no horns, no noise, no nothing. I closed the door and started to cross, and I got halfway up to the railroad tracks, and I'm looking, and here comes a big white light at me. Bang, down on the roof of the bus came the arm. And I'm just praying to God that I didn't have any kids on. And I put the bus in reverse and backed off of them tracks. I wasn't quite to the tracks yet, but I backed off from them. I didn't care if it broke the arm off or not. It wasn't gonna drive me through that train.
There you go.
And that was when they were both.
But that was the scariest thing I ever had on a railroad track.
That's when both rails were still there.
I don't know, it's been a few years
Probably,
ago.
you know.
Had to change your shorts, I bet.
Well, you know, the trouble is they come, you can't see the trains this time of year. You can't see them back toward Tioga Center
Yeah.
on that curve. And you're pulled up on the curve headed just a little bit towards Smithboro way. And when you pull up on there, you can't see around the curve to Tioga Center. And boy, all of a sudden them trains doing 55 mile an hour right on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to get the signal
That's not
settled.
a good spot.
It is
for
not.
All that.
And I know that if I was coming out of that driveway with a loaded truck, I'd want a little bit of momentum going rather than
Yeah, I
have to try to
understand
start.
that part.
But-
I can understand that too, but on the other hand, they need to look to the left. and
Well,
see if
yeah, I
somebody's
agree with
coming
that.
Down the road.
They need
We
to be
can
aware of
stop
everything.
If we,
If the trees, and I haven't even paid attention to the trees, like Bob said, but how about a mirror? Could they is there
Yeah.
a way they could put a mirror that would
I'll have
show
to see if I could.
who's
they
coming
can
down
let-
up the road?
They'll let me cut the
I don't
trees there,
know.
I guess, along the road.
Well, it's
Like I
possible to
said,
put a,
I'm not on that road that
But
much.
it is hard to see.
And
it's
Yeah.
possible that you'd have to get the railroad involved because the mirror would need to be over on the opposites between the rails and 17C. So you could look over there to look back down the tracks to your right.
Yeah, when like
If
that-
you're coming up around there with a cab of a truck, imagine, Russ, how hard it is to see back down on railroad tracks. But that's the only place a mirror would do you any good, on the other side of the tracks, so you
Well,
can see
and
back.
it's-
now.
It's a very bad,
Those trucks need to be careful coming in that way too, because sometimes when the bars go down,
Oh, yeah,
if somebody else is already parked there, you know, we could have a mess.
yeah,
Because sometimes the people on 17C get upset if you're slowing down to turn in there and they go whizzing around you and, you know, we could have a little mess there too. We haven't.
Hey,
I hope we
Yeah.
never
the
do.
railroad can move those sensors any place they want on the rails.
well, that's if you can get them to.
Yeah,
Because
they're
they have,
usually pretty good about that.
yeah, but they moved the houses.
Yeah.
Electric controls and stuff. Yeah.
I just envision, it's already been a lot of close calls and you're gonna have a lot more trucks there. It's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I think something happened with Danny and Margot and Armin, and
Maybe they had a
because
conversation.
they said they were gonna be here tonight. They threw me under the bus, under the truck.
You can say you're under the 10-wheeler,
I
right?
sent the oldest guy on the road to represent.
Bad move.
Oh, I know.
Well, I
But
figured,
hey, we appreciate all the information you did give us.
well, you're welcome.
Well, he's happy to.
And
learn
again, I'll
that.
do everything I can do for you, and I'll work with them to make sure that they do everything possible to accommodate. But again, it is a business, and they're gonna have to operate their business somehow.
We understand that.
And as far as getting their big equipment down there, that's all stuff they could drive right down across the field. And that isn't, you know, any of that would go right down across the field.
No, they've been hauling a big digger up. and down
Yeah,
the
some
road.
big yellow apparatus that
Big excavator.
was as long as one of their trucks. They went down the road with that.
Yeah.
Well, and they're down there because they're digging up, is it
Oh,
topsoil?
Well, they're moving a lot of topsoil to get some, they're so starved for material right now, I guess, because they don't have any in Owego or any of that pit up there. They're hauling it from clear down Pennsylvania somewhere, and they've got pits all over the place, but.
What's going on with Nichols?
Well, I don't know. Russ might be able to answer that more than,
No, it's still going. We had to get a go through a lot of over stone.
we had to haul a lot of stone from over there to our place,
Because they didn't have
for-
stone here.
stone in the roads this
Well, I knew
summer.
they were done in Owego.
Yeah,
They mentioned that, Steve did, but I don't know where this story came from about widening our road. This is just, you know,
Yeah.
that's what we were
If-
told, and it's not even true.
if the road was gonna be widened, he'd have to present a plan and bring it to the board to get approval to do that. And
Yeah.
Well, if he rides that road in front of my house, he's gonna take out all my trees and he's probably gonna have to take out all the telephone poles along there too, so.
Yeah, public service.
If he
commission might
said
have
3
something
foot
to say about that.
on each side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we were told, but people
But it's
can,
not, it's apparently not happening.
no.
No.
Is there a process to get notified about those kind of things?
To
Like if
widen
there
the
was gonna be a
road,
change to the road, that it was gonna be, you know.
if there was
like-
gonna be any major changes to the road, first he'd have to come to the board. He'd have to draw up a plan. He'd have to bring that plan to the board. And the board would probably, if he was gonna stay within the right of ways that we had there now, the proper thing to do would be for the board to instruct him to go down and talk to the people. If you're gonna do it from 291 to 897, talk to them people in between. And maybe on the other sides a little bit too, because the thing of it is, you're gonna have the road tore up. So you need to alert people of that, and there would have to be probably some public notification.
So you were not, all of you people were not told that they were going to put their trucks down our road then? You didn't know that they were gonna do that?
We were looking at DEC permit and it says they can't.
I know, that's what we were, that's why we woke up one
He
morning.
told us, the
And there's
DEC
big
guy
truck.
told us.
Yeah.
He said, they're not gonna be able to drive their trucks down your road.
But they're doing it.
But their trucks, again, we gotta
Yeah, I know. there's-
clarify between the legal trucks and the haul trucks.
Let's weigh a couple of them and find out how much that is.
Yeah, well, his response to my daughter was, according to the approved permit plan, the service/Hall Road would be 100 feet from the nearest property line, but I don't know what that road is.
Well,
Well, that was the road they were
Clearly,
gonna
there's
put
some
in.
terms that need to be clarified.
So,
us
in,
that
in
don't
that
understand
DEC permit, it probably specs out where the road is supposed to be.
It does.
well, it may in the original permit,
The
it
original
may,
permit.
Yeah, because that,
yeah.
And that's probably what he's going off of.
Yeah, he said it's the approved, he said according to the approved permit plan, the service hall road should be 100 feet from the nearest property line. And then he says the operator should be constructing a screening berm on the edge of the LOM, which is the life of mine, which should be at least 25 feet from the property line. That's what he told my daughter was from the approved plan. And she asked how close could they build the service road to the county road? As we were informed, the trucks were not permitted to drive on the county road. And he said the approved plans show it ranging between a 75 feet in the south end of the mine to approximately 200 feet in the north. Whichever ends those are, I don't.
it runs east, it runs east and west, so.
I was, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, north and north, all right, whatever.
You see why we're so confused? Because we
But
don't
anyway,
know
that's
any
what-
of this anyway. and-
That's what he responded to her, was with those.
Number.
So if they put in a new
Yeah.
roadway, they'd have to, get it re-permitted every day.
I don't know. I give them.
Yeah, but-
kudos for
Yeah,
responding.
because you
And
can't,
the campus,
take
the campus behind,
that road,
you
like
know,
this,
next to,
and
Farrell,
just
next
take
to
up
that,
an
extra
HTC
desk
on
sitting
the
behind the
side,
office.
you gotta do the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
There's a pull-out thing there that, and that's got all Lofty's maps and all that stuff in it.
yeah, we've got the permit. I don't have it dug out tonight, but I have what I wanted was to describe the hall
Right
road.
there before,
Yeah,
under all, and it's all under flood plan and everything else.
yeah. Doug had the permit all up on his computer the other night when we was here.
Yeah.
But
Most of it.
again, our concern is the Ayers Road, the traffic on Ayers Road.
Oh, I don't like the dust or,
To the road.
or the noise.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know what we can do about it.
can't. Shut yourself in your house.
The good part of this is you're all gonna end up with lakefront property, riverfront property. I'm sorry, riverfront property.
You wanna know what my
I'm
dad
already
says
on
about
the
that?
riverfront property.
You know what my dad says about that?
Well, you had riverfront property in 11.
Yeah.
He says, I'm 82, I'm not gonna see it.
You don't wanna see all them beach babies down there bathing and sunbathing.
No.
No.
He says by the time they get a big hole behind his house, I won't be there.
I don't know, they can make a big hole awful fast.
Yeah, they did on the end of the road.
Well,
Yeah. The other good thing in reality is when they begin to really move a lot of material, it's gonna keep the water levels down some. You know, like when you got
We
water.
only ever had water in our cellar once, and
Right.
that was 2011.
They also,
Didn't
all,
get in
they
the-
also all only have 40-foot wells, so.
Yeah, the whole.
Well,
road.
but the DEC will control all the aquifer, you know, and,
Yeah,
We
he
did.
said. that.
yeah, I mean, we don't have no regs over that, so we don't even have a,
honestly, today, I almost looked, you know, how they're digging right in that little field down on the other end,
yeah.
and looked like they hit water in one spot. Looked like there was a little pond there.
They just told you they're well 40 foot deep.
Yeah.
Everybody I've talked to on the road, the
Yeah,
well is about 40-foot deep.
yeah.
And
Well-
they're all, what's your bank, a good 20 feet above the,
Yeah,
it's not gonna take much to hit them.
No. And he did address, she said something, Devin said something to him, and he did address that they would do something about that. I laughed because Devin got, what was it? She asked them, how we found out how much gravel, we're sitting
Oh,
on
she was- yeah, she
90-some
was-
percent.
99.9% gravel under our house.
That's why he wants that.
well,
Well,
sure.
yeah.
And we're up high. We do own down over the bank there a bit, so And they wouldn't get, I don't know, there would be a good place to run a road back there. If he could get past that one spot that's so,
Well, it's from the swamp area where they go in and out now.
yeah.
The swamp area between there and the barn,
Uh-huh.
and then from where they go down and around below the barn there, that's, well, it used to be a creek down through there years ago.
Well, wasn't that put in by DEC years and years and
I
years
do
ago?
not know how that ditch got.
Because, Sonny wanted to do something one time with the ditch.
I remember something
They
about
couldn't
that,
do it because they said that's the drain off for that
Yeah.
wetland.
for that wetland, yeah,
Yeah,
something with
so
that,
they
about
couldn't
that,
mess
yeah.
with it.
Very seldom.
But there's
does it
like
get
7
wet.
or 8 foot of topsoil right there where they wanna build that haul
Oh,
road,
yeah.
and it just ain't gonna work. Topsoil will not hold them trucks up, no, you know, them heavy loads, so.
Well,
So tell them to use some of that gravel we're digging up.
Well,
They made the viaduct in the subsoil there. That's what they built the viaduct there.
One would think they would have checked that out before.
folks, we're gonna move on.
Okay.
We've got, you know, I'll do everything I can to help and support and give you what we've promised here tonight. Russ said he'll get the signs for you, ma'am, and he'll get them up as quick as he can get them made up. Again, I'll talk to them about keeping the road clean, the traffic, the dust, and all them issues, and to the best of their ability.
right now, they're not doing it every day.
Yeah,
And they haven't on the weekends, which I appreciate, you know.
yeah.
But it's getting to be summer and we might want to have some gatherings or something.
Are your windows open?
Yeah, well,
Well,
So.
if you were gonna have any special event, I'm sure that Steve would accommodate you.
yeah,
I'm sure he would say, if you're gonna do something the 4th of July and it's on, well, it's on whatever day it is on, but if you're gonna do something on Monday, I'm sure he would accommodate you. I'm sure he would.
We would wish to keep us informed, invite us to a meeting if something's going on.
Well, you're always welcome to come to a meeting here. We
Yeah, but
have
we-
not had any meetings with them. I don't know if they're even interested in that road, if we decided to abandon it, or if we decided to entertain the idea of abandoning it. But if we did that, then we would inform. So, you know, before we ever had abandoned it, because I'd have to have a public hearing by law. That's part of the law. We can't abandon a road without a law, without a public hearing in a local law to do that.
So is the best place to have, when you have questions about the permit, is DEC?
Yes, no doubt. They're the only one that controls it.
We have no control over that. We get it from them and file it.
okay.
I can't do anything with it. Can't change it, can't modify it, can't do nothing with it.
And DEC is one of those agencies that overrules.
Yeah, oh, I know, they
Yeah,
have more
yeah.
power than anyone.
That's been an issue
Well,
here in the town of
The problem
Tioga
is they,
since
you know,
Piper
apparently
sold
they
his
also
farm
don't
over
get
here to
notified anyone of
Bob
anything.
Murphy. And that was back in 1980. Yep.
That one, Sonny sold it?
Pardon?
No, I don't know.
Actually, it was, yeah, it was about that time. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. A little after that. It was more toward the end of the 80s, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it.
I know it's been a long time.
Yeah, because I've sat in this chair for 30 years. And I was on the board, sat in that chair before that. I was on the board when it happened. But
So that's why your chair's got a dent in it, Tiffany.
so
Well, thank you for taking this.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Trying to find info is the challenge.
See, Murphy's, they can't dig on theirs because they got the private crossing. And so they can't cross that private crossing with the commercial trucks. And
There's another.
Lockheed talked to Murphy's about buying Ken's Flat. And they said they're not in the business of selling land, but they also told them that there wasn't any gravel. When they drilled on Ken's Flat, there wasn't any gravel on Ken's Flat, only on some of those little knolls.
Well,
Well, I have 99.9.
Hey, Russ, there's some giant potholes right by my driveway, by my drive.
That's the county road though.
So if you got any spare material,
That's the county.
Right by the
If you got any
grave.
spare material, you're driving by, just dump some there, I'll flatten it out.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
ladies.
Take care.
Right by the
Help you
grave.
more.
And at least it's not raining, so you can, go home, walk out to the car and
We're
drive
gonna
it.
call you about all this.
I would be saying that it's a conflict of interest for me to entertain.
Oh, we
any
didn't know you were
discussion.
on the board.
Oh, I know.
Or
it's
blue,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
You're, it's a.
Okay, the old tire business, our tires are still out here. The ones that
Yeah.
That guy,
that were gone, and Tiffany's been trying to get hold of this guy. And so, do we really want to do anything about it? And if we do, we gotta make a plan pretty soon.
I've had more people call and ask, so a lot of residents have called and asked if we're gonna do one.
If,
the question is,
Well, between what we got out here and if we have a tire day, we probably got enough for a tractor trailer.
probably, but,
where you
so
come
that
up
wouldn't
with
do any
where-
good to advertise, because we'd have 2 tractor trailers time they brought them, or more. You see what I mean?
The problem is, the big problem we got is where you get the money to get rid of it.
What'd you tell me it was?
2,300.
2,300, so it'd
19
be,
inches and down.
if you had 2 trailers, it's gonna cost you $4,600.
Town of Weagle had to have 2 trailers and they're trying to, they were filling the second trailer.
If we could do 1 trailer, we've still got. Let me look. I think we've still got some of that FEMA money that we could use.
I got it. Make sure we don't spend it.
Uh,
I was hoping maybe I could get her to call us if they couldn't fill it, but no such luck.
We could call Dean Morgan, he'd let us slide in. Hey, Dean, help us out.
we've got like $27,800 in that general repairs FEMA money. The 4F, 5110 4F.
We haven't figured anything for it.
Pull out of that for a
Figured out.
trailer load.
Who's talking, you? Figured what?
Have we figured anything at all for that money yet?
No, that's some of that money that was left over.
Yeah,
That
I
should
know
have been,
We keep talking about it, but I don't
that's,
know. if we-
that I always told Frank he wasn't getting that money, because remember all the money we took out of the general fund to cover fuel and everything else that
Right.
year?
Yeah,
And Frank wasn't getting all that money, but that's where we're gonna spend it, it's in the highway, so. But, I mean, it's $27,800. I guess we could spare 2,300 of it for 1 trailer if you wanted to do that, but again,
There's not much restrictions on that, Lloyd.
the what?
There's restrictions.
There's not
on
much
that money.
restrictions on that FEMA money.
Oh, no, I know that. No, that's our money, we can spend it the way we want to. The thing of it is, I'm trying to figure out, you got half enough tires over there now to fill a trailer. And if you advertise a tire, you're gonna have more tires than you'll ever get in a trailer.
The
I
trouble is,
guarantee you.
If you advertise it, just advertise, smaller, nothing over like
19
22
inch.
tires.
19 inches
Or
always.
20 inch.
well, what,
We
Well, we
split
go-
one year, we split it with Bart.
Bart already
somebody,
did
one
theirs.
town. I don't know
Martin
who it
already
was,
did theirs, they're
Put a
not gonna
16
do it
inch
again
limit
this
on it.
summer.
Yeah, I'd put a limit on the size.
Well,
oh, we always do, 18 inches.
No, not always. We used to do tractor tires and everything.
Well, when I called them, they said that
Yeah.
19
Trailers.
inches.
Yeah, but we used to.
Yeah. But the trouble we have is so many tires come in after we have the tire day. That's why there's piles over there now.
That's the problem.
Well, I mean, we could easily put a trail cam up after the day is closed and capture anybody who does drop off.
And And do what?
Well, with the trail cam
Call
prosecutor,
it to their attention, I guess.
send them a fine.
Send them a fine, yeah.
Yeah.
DC, right?
Send them a
How many
bill.
tires can they get in the trailer, do you know?
But I mean, I don't,
Dave probably could give you a good, he was good at packing. He might have.
You can pack them in here.
Yeah. He always had a pack right through the.
I don't know, it feels like we might want to be prepared to do up to 2 trailers, though, just.
We haven't done it. We didn't do it last year, I don't know. what year.
2000.
No, I don't think we've done it in the
2008.
last
3 or 4
3 years.
years since
Yeah.
we've done it.
Yeah, 2008.
So you're
Yeah.
probably gonna get 2.
Well, if you're gonna get 2, you're figuring 4,600, and that's,
And thinking. Are they gonna bring 2 down right away and drop them and then,
I can't answer that, I don't know.
or can we get one, if we get it full, have another one come in?
It'd
I
be
know.
nice if they do it that way.
I know it.
I can ask them. I
Well,
know
why
when
don't
they
you do
called, they
one
were
now
like,
and do one this
booking
fall?
out a month. Yeah.
If you fill one quick and we got leftovers, then have another tire day this fall.
Yeah,
And
why don't
And
we
depends
set like the first week, maybe the first weekend on August? Friday and Saturday, the first Friday and Saturday of August
for the first one, or the second one?
for the first one. And if we get filled up, like Russ said, we can put another one up for September or October.
Provided they could do
Works
that,
for me.
but I agree that you'd have to go one at a time, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to find out. You'd have to authorize to do one, and then Tiffany can find out whether they do a second one or not later, September or whatever.
I don't know why they wouldn't if you had to tell us $300.
Well, I don't know why they
All
wouldn't
they're doing
either,
is
but
all they're doing is hauling it away.
Grinding it up into playground mulch.
As far as.
so if you're gonna
As
do
far as
that,
setting the date, you gotta check with him to see when he can have a couple men that take care of it.
Is that feasible?
Somebody will, what, yeah,
Why?
somebody will do that. I got a wedding in August and then grandkid's birthday in August out here, so. We got 2 weekends, I won't be around.
Well,
What weekends are they?
don't worry, Frank never did it. He always got a couple of men that.
well, only one, right? Or
No,
if you done it 2 days, you'd have a different one each day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure we can get a couple to do it. That won't be a problem.
and you're only gonna do it 4 hours each day, right? I mean,
That's what we did. you know.
what we done. So,
Yeah, 8 to noon Friday and 8 to noon Saturday.
and then you gotta set the tire size.
When I called for the trailer, they said 19-inch and under.
Oh, well, yeah, probably about the standard because most pickups are 18, 19-inch anymore.
Yeah,
Even cars.
Well, a lot of
cars are too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the tractor trailer, you can only put 19 in there.
That was for the 2300. Larger tires than 19-inch are additional, more money.
Really?
Mhm.
There's a bigger tire. There's a bigger truck tire. How much more is it for a trailer with the 20?
I can add.
I'll make a motion that we have the tire day from 8 to noon on the first Friday and Saturday in August.
the first Friday and Saturday in August would be the 6th and 7th.
With a 19-inch diameter limit. And I guess the other thing is what, I don't know whether it was Nick Miller or who it was, they could bring 4 tires at no charge and it was $2 a tire after that or
That's
something,
always,
for another 4.
it's always the way it's been. But we got people bring in pickup loads. Bob Bell was our biggest culprit. He bring in a couple pickup loads down.
More than a couple.
Yeah.
But only one at a time.
Good old Bobby.
That one pickup
I think,
Good old cousin Bobby, huh?
Either do or
I don't see any reason not to put that limit on.
When I read
Well,
the-
we've always had that, but it's hard to collect it.
4 tires and $2 a tire after that, up to 4 more?
I think
Total of
Candace
8?
was thinking those were like-
I don't know, what do you wanna do?
Well,
It's hard for the guy that's taking care of the tires if somebody comes. in,
yeah, I know,
You
I
know,
know.
'cause lots of times they throw them off, they don't back up to the truck and help them unload them into the
It's right there
trailer.
in the courier for we go down with that. I think it was like limit 8 per resident, and then you had to pay it $1 for every extra tire.
So, but then you need 2 people. Because if you got a truck comes in with 8 tires on it, that's free and 10 more, that's $1 a piece,
Yeah.
somebody's gotta do the math and the paperwork and unload the
I
tires.
always did it by myself.
What's that?
I always did it by myself. One guy. can do
Okay,
it.
then Russ will do it.
Or he'll train the personnel on how to do it.
You're right.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, you know, I got no objection to 8 free tires and then $1 a piece for anything over that up to 8 more.
That fills the truck, trailer real fast.
Mhm.
The guy can bring 16 tires.
I mean, you 16 tires on a pickup.
You're
loader.
making the motion? Is that what you're saying, is 8 free ones and $1 a tire up to how many?
8,
Up to
Additional.
8 more, 8 additional,
16 total.
yeah. And they have to be 19-inch or
less,
less,
yes.
okay? That's your motion?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And the 6th and 7th of August, right? Friday and Saturday.
More is that small. It's a
I
pickup
know.
tires, pickup tires.
Yeah.
And they're getting.
We need to put that in the finish saver,
Okay,
probably what, 2 weeks before?
Probably by the middle of July, I would say, yes.
Yeah.
Did we ask, group of residents?
We probably should,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, cause Bob Bell was always the Barton, but he always brought them.
well, he'd take them both places. If they had it, he'd take them down there
Yeah.
too.
But they wouldn't only let him take the legal amount down there, so he'd bring them up here.
But yeah, I would say proof of residence required.
Residence required.
Okay?
Put that in the ad, right?
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
well, that motion's already passed. We're moving on. Finger Lakes Historical Society support letter. There's no charge to belong to that. We just need a letter of support.
Is that one we talked about
Motion.
last? board
Yes, it
meeting?
is.
Yeah,
yeah, we sent it out. I sent it out.
Okay, that letter's gone, so there's no charge for that.
Cool.
Budget amendment for the CHIPS line.
Yeah, Angel said we actually had to amend it.
Yeah, I talked to her about that today, and we do have to amend the budget for the increased amount in the CHIPS. Now, you have the letter with the total amount in it. Cause she's gonna need a copy of that for her file, and then she'll have to do an amendment to the budget to that number.
You, or
No, Angel.
Do we have to pass a reso to go with that, or?
I would ask for that, yes,
Okay.
to go with the, whatever the number is they finally gave you, which was what, like 370,000, something like that, maybe?
No, 491.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, that's the
It's a
total
little
they
more than we
guaranteed
thought.
you.
Yes, that's the rollover,
Yeah,
chips, winter recovery, and pig near. 491 and change, 492.
It's all spec dust.
yeah, she needs a copy of that letter for her file. The board needs to amend the budget to that number, to a motion to amend it.
I move we amend the budget, so to cover the increases. get money.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Roll call vote.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
All right.
all four of you ayes. Roll call. Okay, new business. New York State CFA. That needs a schooling.
No, this is something that Doug gave me, just so you guys could look it over.
Oh,
Consolidated funding application. So this is where the county gets the shared services, the local government efficiency money to do the connection hookup work. It's that second one on that page there. Local government efficiency program. So there's, I mean, the only thing I thought, when I briefly looked through it, that might be of interest to us. Where was it? Was it brownfield opportunity, communities cover,
you said the second page. Where are you looking? What are you looking at?
oh no, the second paragraph is the local government. The second item is what we use at the county.
It's local government efficiency.
Yeah,
Oh,
State
yeah,
of New
with
York
file
Department of
split
State.
in half
There you go.
there. I'll find it.
But yeah, it's without reading through whether or not, you know, the local waterfront revitalization or brownfield opportunity or smart growth would be of use to us. I have no idea.
Okay, now you said which one, the local waterfront
Yeah, Mike, I mean, you know,
revitalization program provides funding for a variety of planning and implementation projects to create more sustainable and resilient waterfront communities. And as such can serve to support economic development efforts. The department encourages eligible applicants whose coastal economies have been impacted by COVID-19. I don't know, is that, you'd have to have a project though, right?
Yeah.
To do?
Yep.
The only couple projects I can think of, that one of them we ain't heard no more about in quite a while, and that's the one on Glenberry Drive. They're by your place, your cousin and,
Oh,
the washout.
the wash.
yeah, the washout. And then the one that they're already doing and got money for with the DEC up above that. Okay, or below it, maybe it's below it. Below it down to the bridge,
Yes,
down through
it's
below the bridge.
The old water power
Yeah,
plant.
yeah,
There by.
and
the
they're
road.
already doing
By the
that.
little road there,
Right,
yeah.
well, I don't know.
Well, what there was something in the plan ordinance about Sherry was pushing for a
Yeah,
Boat
she was
launch.
talking with
somewhere.
river entrance down on, and he wanted, thought we, to make it more accessible. It's pretty steep to get down in there, down where the old bridge used to be. We made that a boat launch area, but
Right,
That's in Smithboro.
yeah. But,
on Bridge Street there, the old.
Yeah.
Well, what actually does he want us to do there? I mean, more than what we've done. I mean, just
I don't know, I
keep the brush cleaned out of there,
Well,
or, because he didn't want the guardrails taken out before,
I know,
because that would allow everybody to get down in there, and he didn't want that.
but if we're making it for her a town boat launch area, everybody should be able to get down in there.
Well, I understand that too, and I agree with that. But you've been down in there before, I've been down in there before. This time of year, I used to drive halfway across the river just to get water deep enough to throw a hose in, stuck a little 300 gallons of water out there.
Yeah.
And I was wading around in water 4 or 5 inches deep just to get a hole dug enough to get the suction line down deep enough. So how would you ever launch a boat there?
I don't
Canoe
know.
maybe, or kayak,
Something you could carry, and
but
a couple guys could carry it down in.
you back a boat and trailer clear down into the other side of the river where you get enough depth to launch it. But, so, I don't know.
There used to be enough water there, they were gonna put a bridge across there.
There used to be a bridge across
Yeah.
there. Cause I remember when I was a kid, we used to stop and ding ding, put the quarter money in the toll booth. Yeah, huh?
You're old.
I know.
Was it like a rope ferry bridge or?
Yeah, you might remember it, don't you? Of course, you were
Vaguely.
probably never down that way much, but
Yeah.
it was the only way you get the nickels.
Yeah.
Pay your toll, go across the river. Head east back toward Nichols.
I
and
vaguely
loop up
remember
over the
washing
railroad
out,
track,
you know,
like
yeah.
Paul Frederickson.
Dad talking about, yeah.
Yeah, I'm old. Ain't we, Bob? You don't go to sleep on me?
That's what I was thinking. He's falling asleep.
You there, Bob?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know what, maybe you fell asleep on me. Uh, well, anyway, I don't know. What are they asking for? Support for this or what?
No, I think he was just pointing it out. If there's anything on here we wanted to apply for, the application deadline's the end of July.
And then somebody have to write a grant?
Yep.
And who would that be?
Isn't REAP supposed to write grants for us?
Who?
Isn't REAP supposed to write? grants
REAP can
for us?
write grants, so there's folks, yeah, I mean, maybe Elaine Jardine or, Alan Pratt at the county too.
So.
They do a lot of grant work.
So this support letter might be for just support for the project, and then it would have to be approved and all that, right? Somebody'd have to, well, you'd have to get, probably no less than 3 estimates and everything to do the project. You'd have to have an engineer draw up the project.
I would say on some of those, the revitalization stuff, yeah. The local
Or
government
we could-
efficiency ones have been pretty easy for us to complete. We show the current cost, the new equipment costs that they would have to provide, to do to become stable and sound and secure. And yeah, that's straightforward, but a waterfront project would definitely be way more involved, and I don't know if they have the same timeline.
Or we could talk to the DEC and ask them if it's okay if we went ahead and opened that up as a public access. We could maybe make some of our highway guys, waterfront guys, and go down and clean it out and take out the big section of the guardrails, and there you go, you got a boat launch.
All the
I
components
mean,
of
it
it.
wouldn't take a whole lot to clean the brush out of there.
No, we went down in there once and moved the trees and stuff for him.
Yeah, I know you.
So he could walk down in.
Yeah.
But we'd probably have to put take out the midsection of the guardrails. I don't think I'd want to take them all out, but
I
I'm
actually
not
think there's
sure.
a spot where there's a gate. There used to be a gate
Yeah,
and there's a bunch of brush in there. And he said, no, don't take that out because he didn't want people running down in there.
but it's a public piece of property.
And
You could just clean up the brush and put a gate in there.
but
Yeah,
how steep is it right there with it? It's not that bad.
It's, no, not when I used to go down in there, but that's been a lot of years ago, but I used to drive right down in the river.
Yeah, you could drive right down there.
Stand there and visit with Carl while I was pumping water. And Carl Rutt.
Yeah, the applications are due by 4 o'clock on July 30th. And they don't make the awards till November, December.
July 30th, huh?
Yep.
So,
We're on next month's agenda, we'll talk about it again. If we get
Set a
some
motion to
if we
table
get
it?
more specific.
motion to table it till July.
That says right here, where they lack of public access to outdoors recreation, creates a challenge to the community. So much prejudice, support and develop, strengthen these.
Well, I don't have a problem with going through the process if that's what you want to do. I'm not going to discourage that. I'm just thinking about the cost issue related to getting
The
something
use.
done down there to just, time you hire an engineer and everything, that's what you're gonna have to
If you gotta
do.
do all that, you're gonna spend.
Well, you're gonna have to have a plan.
Well, I can take, as what I can take as an action item, because who prepares them for IT, these CFA grants? is Elaine Jardine. I can take an action item to have a conversation with her tomorrow about how much we need, what we would need in the application to submit, how complete of a plan would we need in the application to submit for a new boat launch on Owego Creek off of Glenmere, right? That's still the location we're talking about?
No, because we don't own any property in the Owego Creek.
Okay, what we
get
would
down
do
to
to
the creek.
improve our boat launch in Smithborough.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Have her Google it. It's on the end of Bridge Street,
Uh-huh.
right there, and look at it from the map, from the Google map.
Yep.
And would like to make it a public access, but,
Okay.
I mean, for boat launch.
Yep.
But again, there's issues that we've already talked about here, so no sense going over them again, but.
Yeah. Yeah. No, let me see how much we'd have to get prepared for July
And I
30th.
know the DEC ain't gonna allow us to go out in there and dig a.
I was gonna say, we could dig a trench, you know.
That little creek comes out right there and it had a streak of gravel
Wait, disturbance spot itself.
and that creek coming out into the river.
Yeah.
Terrible. That was-
Well,
It would be an
we'd
issue
have to
all
get
the time,
DEC involved to get down in there to look at that gravel and stuff, see if they'd let us get it out there or
Yeah.
whatever, I mean, but,
Especially if we have a
That's it.
movie.
Yeah,
I'll start
we
the
can't
conversation with Elaine
Yeah,
tomorrow. We'll
do
go
that.
from there.
okay. Okay,
So a motion to table it until next,
yeah, until we get some more information on it.
anybody make a motion? I will.
Sorry.
Motion made and seconded to table it till the July meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay.
I'll make a motion. to approve.
Cornell, July for further my taxation education, the cost of 2-day class, $250. Cost of one night motel is $135. The total amount would be $385, would be split between Candor, Nichols, Tioga. If they permitted to attend, making the cost of, pardon me, $128.33 per town.
I make a motion, we let her go.
I'll
I
second.
say, yeah, we got her we've appointed her for another 3 years, right?
Yep.
I'd say we get easily $128 worth of value out of that in 3 years.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to approve the schooling for Denise for $128.33, I think you said.
Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Tiffany, how's your arm?
Opposed?
A lot
Carried.
better, yeah.
Finger Lakes historical budget amendment. CFA, Denise schooling. Pay the bills.
Make a motion to pay the highway fund $135,014.30.
Now,
Second.
did you hear that, Bob?
Yep.
135,014.30 for the highway fund bills. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Motion to pay
Did
the-
that bring in the broom? For the blacktopping and stuff? I mean, is there chip money in that? Or just Lopke's?
Say this one more time again.
In this highway fund, $135, is there chip money in that?
In what?
Yeah, there was.
In your
chip-
your blacktop.
In that? in
Yes,
this-
it's chips, it's split up.
Yeah.
The Lockheed bill you're talking about?
Yeah,
Well,
all of it.
wouldn't Broom had quite a bill for blacktop? Didn't they supply? a lot of-
Broom didn't do nothing. Broom Kajumas? No, Vestal Asphalt. No, we haven't got a bill from them yet.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
We only got a bill from Lockheed.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's the
So
last
it's
one
fire.
not here either?
No,
No.
Vestal Asphalt's not there.
Okay.
Broom hasn't done that. They're next week.
Okay, then they do realize that it'll be a month before they. Okay,
They've been dealing with towns long enough.
Several bills.
They should know.
They should know.
Okay. Can't be the only town
Okay.
doing business with.
okay,
All right, motion to pay the general fund in the amount of $20,269.71.
motion made, seconded to pay general fund for $20,269.71. All those in favor say aye.
All
All
right.
right,
Opposed? Carried. Okay. No, I just wondered, I took a ride up over the hill today, I got a Barton, so when I come back, I went up over the hill. I see all the blacktop he's done up there on the gravel and on Spot Cockspur. You gonna stone and oil that this year? Just leave it.
No, not Oxford.
Just leave it.
He started working dirt roads. Started there because the roller was there.
let's
Well,
go back to Ayers Road for just a minute. In light of all of this going down there, I think it probably would be in the town's best interest if you went down and took some pictures of the condition of that road at this point. If it gets to the point where it's starting to break up, we need some documentation.
So 3 years ago, we pulled the shoulders on the road and we oiled and stoned it. We double coated it.
Yeah,
But.
Mom, I'm gonna play with my phone a minute. If I lose
We
you, I'll call
only
you
went
back,
to
okay?
Walker. We just had Walkers because we thought we were gonna discontinue the road or
Right.
continue the road 3 years ago.
yeah.
So from there down, it is falling apart.
Well, from there down, we don't really need to be concerned about it. I don't think at
I
this
don't think
point.
so
It's just,
either.
it's just from 17C down to Walker.
Yeah.
But we need to document the condition at this point because they're running trucks every day.
Steve wanted me to come down in there and shoulder the road again. And I said, no, we're not gonna pull the shoulders again because we will tear the new chip and stone all up,
Yeah,
especially in this hot weather.
He wanted, like, or like they said, they wanted to widen the road.
Just by shouldering it, it's not widening it. It's
but I
just
think
pulling the shoulder.
we need to document the condition at this point.
Yes.
And make sure that location services are turned on so that it geolocates the photo and puts the time and date. Yeah, oh yeah, so if your location services are turned on when you take the picture.
Yeah.
And the metadata
It'll
associated with
stamp
the
time
picture,
and date on it.
as well as your location. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it'll locate you in the world and say, oh, you were standing here when you took this photograph. So we can prove
There
it.
you
I learned
go.
something new today.
Every day you learn something new if you pay attention to us.
And I,
Big extra, that's right there.
I see a concern that they brought up that is a real concern on the road because he plans on moving his whole pit business down here
Yeah,
and doing away with the wiggle. So there would be an awful lot of traffic on Ayrton.
well, and I would think that at that point in time, he needs to have an access road into the plant other than Ayers Road.
Either that or he better be thinking about buying out all his neighbors.
Well,
Well, there is, the only
wanted
way
to
he
buy
can
it
do
right
that is to get with the railroad, to get a crossing,
Yeah,
because that's the only crossing there is.
right.
I don't know how that would
Yeah,
work
if I was
out,
moving
but-
my business
mean,
operations
You,
down
you
there,
look
I'd
at
be
the Wiggle plant,
negotiating
you
with
come
those
off of
folks right now.
17C, you're on his
Buying
road,
them all.
right,
into the scales and into the pit.
That's what I would do.
right.
That's the way it should be down here if he's gonna have public access for stone and topsoil and
It would be.
gravel and everything
They
else.
would have to make it that way,
Yeah,
but still, they're gonna travel down.
I mean, you're gonna have
Ayrton Road,
town trucks pulling in there, getting sand and
But
just
they're
like they are up here.
gonna travel down Ayers Road to get to their access. So, Ayrton
Well,
Road-
I guess that's something we need to talk to Steve about, that, if you move the plan down there, you cannot use Ayers Road for public access like they go into the illegal plan.
Well, it would
It's
be.
not,
But why? Why
They
can't
did-
they? We don't have a restriction on that road,
Right,
no more than the state has a restriction on their road.
they would be able to use the road
but
to get
but
down
when
to
you
their
turn
plant.
off, of 17C,
Which is a state road.
which is a state road,
You're still on the town road.
no, you're not on a,
No, not
not
there.
on a wiggle, you're
Oh,
not on a
not
town
Wiggle.
road.
Well, they
Right,
wouldn't
you're
be,
into their driveway.
but they'd be on the town road until they
If-
got
I
down to
mean,
pull into
either-
their pit.
Either one side or the other of the railroad tracks coming off of 17C should be to an access road to his plant. I think.
I don't know,
No,
because
no.
Adam can do some research on
Do
that,
some
but
digging.
we're talking a town road and we allow legal traffic on that road.
That's right. And they wouldn't have, to-
They own the property down there, so you can't restrict them to local access only.
and,
I think there'd
But by
be,
the same token, if we end up abandoning the end of that road, the half mile after Walker's, then it's no longer a town
once they
road.
get
well,
that
it is down
far,
as far as
but
Walker.
they can go down as far as Walker's, the public could.
Yeah,
And if they take that into consideration, why, because might say, I don't want you to abandon the road. It depends on where they put their plant and everything,
well, yeah,
you know. I don't know if he's decided where to do it, Sharon. He's
But-
been trying to work.
but I guess
with us.
my point is,
We won't work with it.
everybody that goes into the Owego plant to get gravel or whatever they get,
Turns off
is-
of a public highway.
turns off of a state highway,
But it's up,
that the specs are different than what they are for our road as far as maintenance is concerned.
what's the difference?
That you don't think that all the 10-wheeler town trucks from all the towns traveling on our town road that road's gonna last as long as 17 feet?
Yeah, but
What's
I'm
the deal
not
with
saying the
Stanton Hill?
conditions of the base of the road. I'm talking about the legal
The
conditions.
pit over in Nichols.
What,
Yeah,
It's Stanton Hill's a town road, isn't it?
county.
Oh, it's county.
County road.
All right.
the thing of it is it's still a public road.
Right.
And we allow public access on that road. So I don't see how we can stop them
We
from,
can't. They're just
from
from
traveling down that road. I really don't.
And wherever their pit is, once they turn into their pit, wherever their,
Wherever
Set
their
up.
entrance is,
that's their entrance, they take care of.
they have to maintain there, but the thing of it is if we, because they own the property down there, we can't restrict them from going in and out of there. And if they put a business down in there and sell retail out of there or wholesale to the towns and stuff, how are you gonna stop them?
You can't.
As long as the trucks are legal and the weight limits are
Other
legal.
than they may
can't-
just.
It's
like
no
they
different
said,
than a
make the
state
repairs
road.
themselves. I mean, the
I
gas
guess if you
companies.
can't
only
stop them,
pay
then
for
we
some
need
roads
to
that
have
get
something in
trashed.
place that.
I'm sure they'll work
for-
with
For
us.
repair.
I'm sure they'll work
It's in
with
their
us,
best interest to do that.
but I don't see any way we
Everybody
can
hated
stop
it
them.
enough.
Can't you put a weight limit on it?
You can't restrict them to a weight limit.
Why not?
Because they're
It's their
local.
property.
They're
If
local.
they started tearing up the road. you could-
They're local.
They're local.
How
They're
can you
owners.
restrict a milk truck to a weight limit?
You can put a weight limit on, but you can't restrict local traffic.
That's right.
And if I'm an owner, I'm an owner.
Right.
No matter how heavy my truck is.
Yeah.
The first thing you'd have. to
And if
do-
you're buying from them and they're selling out of their pit down there,
You'd have to.
you're still local.
Yeah.
Because you're buying from them. I mean, you're buying it.
No, the only thing would be that ugly Z word that we don't like, so.
Well, my dad said 50 years ago that town of Tioga is zoned anyway because of the river and the railroad tracks.
That's true.
Think
You're not
about
lying.
Think about that.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. There are regulations that we have to deal with because of that, yeah.
So, anyway, I'll
Okay.
talk to Steve tomorrow.
All right,
I'll get with him.
motion to adjourn?
And I'm assuming Doug's waiting for a call from me anyway. He was gonna come down tonight, but then he decided he'd stay home. He didn't know any more than I know, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, he couldn't do any more than I could do, but.
I'll second it.
All right.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.